Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the third episode of Pizzaholics podcast. I'm Ron, your Pizzaholic. I'd like to introduce you to my guest for this episode. Not only is she one of the most incredible people I've ever met in my life, absolutely amazing and wonderful, and I couldn't imagine my life without her. So it's just, without further ado, this is my wife, Shauna.
Hello.
So me and Shauna have been married going on 12 years now. Been together a few more years than that. We have two kids, Cameron 10, Caitlin who's 6. We also have 4 dogs and a foster right now that we have. So we have a 5th dog at the house. We live in Monroe. So just to give you a little background on us and what we are, and obviously we're into animals, and we have our 2 animals that go to school, and then 5 animals that stay home all day. So, Shauna, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm your wife, obviously, and thank you for the nice introduction. That was very nice of you. Love you, babe.
Love you too.
And I was a stay-at-home mom, and then when my youngest went to kindergarten, actually a little bit before that, I started dog walking, and the business just kind of took off, and I'm just found out that I'm gonna have to take a break from it, and I'm very sad for that. But other than that, I like binge watching Netflix, and I like helping animals. That's pretty much my life right now, is the dogs.
Sorry, I had to try a new sound effect.
You should have had a dog barking.
I don't have that sound effect yet. I only have 9 of them, and that's not one of them.
Rookie.
Well, yeah, this is my 3rd podcast ever. So I'm actually pretty impressed that I was able to get, not only did I get the equipment running for the first 2, but I have new equipment now to make it better, that I got that equipment running, and I actually got it up and running first shot. However, this is the 2nd attempt at this podcast because the computer... for some reason, switched to the internal microphone, and when the equipment for the podcast is set up, the internal microphone doesn't receive any audio. So we did 42-minute podcast, and it didn't get recorded.
Yeah, we were just having a conversation.
So this is take 2. So at every podcast, I like to ask a few questions of people. I try to pertain them to more of the shop owners and business people who are in the group, because I'm trying to be focused on those for some of the podcasting going forward. But since you don't have a business, I'm going to try to entangle these questions to you. So what's your favorite thing on your menu? So for those of you who don't know, I have a culinary degree. I do most of the cooking in the house.
We'd all die if I cooked.
And we would lose a lot of weight first. So I have my own pizza oven out in the backyard. My wife bought it for me a couple years ago for Father's Day. I've mentioned that in previous episodes.
You're welcome.
And so we're going to pretend that that's our place, and that's our pizza joint. So what's the favorite thing on the menu at our pizza joint for you?
The chicken fajita pizza.
You want to describe that for everybody? Because not everybody, I'm pretty sure, hasn't heard of or had a chicken fajita pizza. I never even heard of it, had it until I did my own.
Yeah, so it's traditional pizza crust, and it's got a little bit of red sauce on it with some... I think it's Mexican cheese. Is it Mexican cheese?
It's a blend. So I do a 50-50 blend. So it's 50% a Ford cheese blend, Mexican style blend with some Mexican seasoning in it. And then the other half of that would be the grande mozzarella cheese.
Okay. And it's chicken, obviously. Hence the chicken fajita pizza.
But I can do it with steak, or I can do it carne asada. Or I can do, with anything really. I mean, give me an ostrich. I can do ostrich fajita pizza. I don't know if you'd like it, but I'm sure I can do it.
I ain't eating that.
Maybe you already have and had known.
Men. Anyway, but the star of the pie is this, what he calls an avocado crema. I never heard the word before. He made this concoction, but it just tastes amazing.
Yeah, so after you bake the pizza and it comes out of the oven fresh, and the cheese is still bubbling, that it's so hot, that you take. I make this. I call it an avocado crema for lack of better terms because it's not just avocado. It's not a cream. It's its own thing. So and I spiral that around it, and that really seems to like boom add the last little bit of love to the pizza that it doesn't necessarily need, but not once you have it, you're like you can't do without it.
Oh, it needs it.
I think it's fine without it. I think it's fine without it, but I mean, it takes it to the next level with it.
Fine.
All right, so then,
I ain't eating it without it on it.
All right, so on the last episode that we didn't record properly, you also had mentioned you had 2 other things that you really love out there from the oven. So what were the other 2?
So the other 2 is the fresh baked bread. Like, there's nothing better than fresh baked bread. Like, right out of the oven, you just slap some butter on it, and it's just, oh my God. But his, like, melts in your mouth.
So I do one better where I'll take the bread and then I'll slice it when it's not quite done yet. It's almost done, but still just a little doughy inside. So then I take it, and once I slice it, I have 2 open ends to the inside of the bread. I put butter on one end, and I take the other end of the bread that doesn't have the butter, and I put it down on the pizza stone in the oven so it has like a grilled cheese feeling. So you have the outer crispy crunch from the bread. Mm-hmm. You have the soft grilled type of consistency on the bottom of the bread, and then on the top of it you have that creamy, smooth, sweet, salty, buttery side, which I always rub with garlic before I put it in there. So it's got that nice, fresh, garlicky feel to it too. So it's definitely something that you're not going to get at a restaurant because it's time consuming for just bread. But it is definitely an oh my God kind of a thing. And it's really healthy for you too.
Yeah.
It's got garlic on it. It's salad. It's good. It's got a fresh vegetable.
Has anybody ever put garlic in their salad?
I do. Ugh, I eat garlic raw. You know that. You've seen me do it.
I just can't do that.
I chop it up and eat it raw. Garlic, I could eat a whole clove of bulb of garlic. No big deal raw.
Like biting into an onion.
Oh my God, I could do that too.
Ugh, gross.
All right, so what was number 3 then? And I had guessed on the last podcast because she had asked if I can guess. And I guessed these. I make these chicken wings that I do in the oven that they're roasted in the oven with a little bit of char on the edges. I really thought that's what she was going to say, but it wasn't. So what was it?
It was his barbecued pork ribs. Were they pork? Yeah.
Yeah. The baby back spare ribs.
Oh, they were so good. Ribs. So we had a smoker before the pizza oven.
Big mistake.
And it just sat out there. And every summer, I'm a big barbecue rib person. I love barbecue ribs. And he every couple of weeks he would come home with some to put in the smoker, and they'd smoke all day long, and then he'd be like, "Here, is this it?" I'm like, "Nope, it's not it. It's not the taste that I want. It tastes too, I don't know, it just wasn't there." Yeah,
so with the fact that I have a culinary degree, barbecuing and slow cooking barbecue isn't really something that you learn in culinary school. It's something that you have to kind of do. Great pit masters and stuff. It's a skill that they have. Otherwise, everybody would do it. And unfortunately, when it came to that, I tried, and that smoker to me was a big mistake. I just didn't have the knack for it. But once I got that pizza oven going and I learned how to use that pizza oven as a smoker, I mean, I've done things in there. So, for example, when we talked about in the Lost episode, my family isn't huge into Easter hams. We usually have my Aunt Veronica, who is one of the most amazing cooks I've ever met in my life, and I'm sure you would attest to that.
Oh, she has the best lasagna.
So she does her lasagna or an eggplant parm for Easter, and her lasagna is like, last meal worthy. I'm getting put down tomorrow. It's on my list if they can sneak me in a Veronica lasagna. It's just absolutely out of this world. And my family usually we're down for a good lasagna for Easter. So this year was our turn to host Easter, and I decided I'm going to do the ham, out in the oven.
Yeah, because my family does a traditional ham.
So what I did was I did a apple cider bourbon maple glaze for the ham. I smoked it out there in the oven for 4 or 5 hours, I think it was, covered, and then I uncovered it and I threw a whole bunch of apple wood chips that were soaked in apple cider for like 3 days and smoked it in that, and then I put the glaze over until the glaze was just this sticky goo. And every year we do a ham, whoever's house it is, and you have to do a ham in my family because otherwise Grandma Joan doesn't get her ham. It's not Easter, and she's the matriarch of the family. So when Grandma Joan wants ham, we have ham, and we love doing it because we love her. She's the most incredible grandmother you can ever hope to have. So I did the ham, and usually we have half a ham left over every year because we're trying to figure out ways to use the ham.
She makes pea soup with it.
Yeah,
she?
but we try to use pea soup and whatever. But usually after 3 days, the dogs get a big freaking bowl of ham because there's 5 of them and there's plenty of ham left over usually, so it goes around. So that's what we used to do. So for those people who don't think that I don't want to get a pizza oven because it's a unitasker type of thing, go get one. You can do so much with a pizza oven besides just making pizzas, between breads, ribs, wings, smoking things. I've done burgers and steaks, and
you could probably do your Thanksgiving turkey in there.
I'm thinking I'm gonna try it next year. We host Thanksgiving. I'm gonna probably try to do a turkey in there.
So just consider it like an outdoor oven.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a much bigger oven. You can use it to keep things warm if you have parties. And you can get them really nice ones built for $20,000 at your house. You can go buy one pre-built that's out of stone from places like Haynes, which is a gravel pit, stone quarry supply house. They have them. They make them there and bring them to you for like $7,000 to $10,000. And then you can go out and build one yourself if you want to. Like in the last episode, the first episode, my friend Fred, his wife made him one for about $5,000. But then you can go get like I got. Mine's a stainless steel with a stone inside, and I love the way it works and it comes out. My gorgeous wife bought me one a couple years ago for Father's Day, and it was like $1,700-$1,800. They make them right in New York, which is about an hour and a half from my house. Drove down there and picked it up, so I saved the $400 shipping
too, right?
Yeah, it was like $400. I think I saved. We're driving down there and picking it up. Came home. It assembled in like 20 minutes, and that night we were making pizzas. So you can, and then you can go low as like the Camp Chefs and the Unis of the world. Uni makes a fantastic oven. They make a pellet version, a regular wood version, and I think they make a propane version. And you can get the kit with the peel and everything you need to make pizza, as far as the tools and equipment's concerned, for like $300. I mean, how can you go wrong for like $300? All right, so back to your the commercial, for ovens is over. Now, so you like the ribs. So
yes.
What was it about these ribs that you liked?
They fell off the bone. There was like no effort involved. You literally just they just peeled off.
Yeah,
clean.
So literally,
clean.
I would take the ribs, grab them with tongs, take the bones out, and you can chop them up, and then it looked like what McDonald's tries to do with the McRib. It had that look and shape to it, but obviously it was a million times better. And I actually think when I made them last time, I actually made my own barbecue sauce. I think that was part of the reason why you liked them so much. So you could literally take the bones out, take a knife, cut a chunk of the rib, put it on a piece of that fresh baked bread in the oven, and you had to sandwich that. It's not even, how that expression goes, often duplicated or often imitated, never duplicated. I don't think you can imitate it or duplicate it, because I think that's a one-of-a-kind sandwich, and it was out of this world. And it wasn't even expensive ribs. I think I bought the ribs that were on sale for like $1.99 a pound.
You need to do those again really soon.
Yeah, it's getting close to that time where the top's going down in the new car, and the oven's going to be fired up a lot more often, and I'm going to do some more experimenting. I got some new equipment, and this episode is actually going to be brought to everybody by Tipsy Tomato. They helped with all of the business we've brought to them and helped them out with the group. They were gracious enough to help with the get the podcast going a little bit. Made a sponsorship to get us some equipment to help that going. So I'd like to thank them for their generous donation. And so this episode obviously is sponsored by them.
Thanks, Tipsy.
And I'm sure that they were told me that they were very happy to do it. They couldn't be happier with the group and Pizzaholics themselves for showing the love of their place and their product. And so I think it's a kind of a win-win for everybody. So, but going forward, we have some nice equipment to do the podcasting. I've also purchased equipment myself to do some videoing. So we should be able to do this summer, do some videos, do some podcasting, and do some how-tos. Hoping to do some how-tos with the pizza oven. So So, babe, knowing that this is a pizza group,
Yep.
right, and it's all things pizza, correct?
Yes.
You would agree with that, right?
Some things slip in here and there.
So here's my question for you.
What?
Does it count all things pizza if I did a video to show people how I make these ribs or the wings or the bread? Does the fact that I'm making them in a pizza oven, is that enough where I can do it in the pizza group to show people how versatile these ovens are?
I think so, because it's primarily used for pizza, but you can show them, it's not just a unitasker. You can show them exactly what you can do with it. You can, the thing is versatile.
It does. I mean, if I had to get rid of all my kitchen appliances for cooking, microwave, toaster oven, stove, regular oven, I probably would get rid of that last. I mean, I know that the toaster oven and air fryer is convenient. I don't hardly. When was the last time you see me even use the microwave? I don't really use the microwave.
You use the microwave to
cook the stuff
chicken
for the dogs.
scraps.
Yeah, I use whenever I'm making like breaded chicken or whatever. I cook the eggs, leftover eggs in the chicken scraps for the dogs. Other than that, it's very.
Our microwave is always clean.
Yeah, because we never use it, and our microwave is like 40 years old.
It came with the house.
It's the only microwave this house has ever seen is this microwave. It's I think the paper on it's 77.
And when we all have brain cancer, when we get older, we'll wonder why.
I don't think we'll wonder. But the fact is that like it's just one of those old that works, and I don't know. I have no reason to get rid of it.
Nope.
We don't really.
It works.
We barely ever use it. So I'd probably keep the pizza oven because I can boil water in that thing. I can cook anything I want to in there. And the other impressive thing about a pizza oven is you ever, lose power? You ever, have one of those days where the stove broke or whatever? As long as you have wood, your pizza oven will always work.
It will always be there for you.
And it's really not a lot of money if you think about what you're getting for what you do. And hopefully the videos that we do in the how-tos, we're going to do some how-tos from Fred's oven a lot. His oven's a little bigger, so it's a little easier to see. There's a little more space around his, but we're going to do some videos from mine, videos from his. We're actually going to do some review videos of some ovens. A couple companies were gracious enough to send us a few videos to ovens, to test. So there's a lot more content coming your way in the future. So, all right. So now we've been sidetracked for a while here, and Mina's back.
I'm just listening to you talk.
Why is it a bad thing?
No, just keep going.
Why? You're supposed to be part of this.
I am part of it. I'm just listening to you.
All right. So
it's late, and this is round 2.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your favorite pizza joint to go to, or your absolute favorite pizza joint, and why?
For the pizza or just the environment?
What's your favorite pizza joint and why?
My favorite pizza place.
We don't go to pizza places. We go to pizza joints.
The joints are little places.
No. So here's the definition.
No, you're rambling. No. I have the floor. You asked me the question.
No. Everybody who makes pizza is a pizza joint.
Here we go.
A pizza place
Always
is a pizza
taking
joint.
Over, never lets me
a pizza palace,
never lets me
a
talk.
pizza shop, a pizza house. They're all pizza joints. Go.
Are you done now?
Yeah. Call it a pizza joint.
The place where I like to eat pizza at is Gigi's.
Okay, and why?
Well, the first time I went there, I felt like I've been there forever. They're the owner, first of all, George is great.
Yeah, George is one of the owners. He's one of the G's.
He talked to my kids like they were his nieces. He took them in the back, to see the pizza oven, and they have the TV up that shows the pizza oven live, so you get to see your pie going in, when it's coming out.
Pretty funny you say this, because that was actually Cameron's favorite place for the same reason.
Yeah.
So I wonder if George even realizes how popular his place is, just based on the fact that they have a couple monitors in the building to be able to watch your food being made.
I mean, it's just awesome. I've never seen that anywhere.
No. I haven't either, and I think it's a pretty cool feature.
But he's just there and talking, and everybody's talking to him. You just kind of feel like you're not in a restaurant. You feel like you're in
Cheers.
someone's house.
Almost like Cheers back in the day.
Yeah.
Everybody knows your name type of thing. So for those of you who haven't been there, it almost has the feeling, and I don't know if you've seen this movie, but have you seen the last Rocky movie when Rocky was like 90 years old?
I have not.
Okay, so in the last Rocky movie, it's called Rocky Balboa, and he owns an Italian restaurant. And I actually think one of the funny lines in the movie was when the guy goes, what's so special tonight? And he says what's special, and they said something along the lines of, so what's so special about a bunch of Mexican guys making Italian food in the basement in the Bronx, or in Philadelphia? I mean, so I just thought that funny, but the way Rocky goes around the restaurant, he just talks to people and greets them and tells stories about his past and things he did and stuff like that. And that's what George did. He just walked around and said, "Hey, I used to own this place and I own this place and I've done this and done that," and talk to you, and he treated you like your family. You felt like you were at your Uncle George's house having dinner, and I thought that was a really cool part about it.
He just took. It shows that he takes pride in what he's serving his customers. He wants to know if you're having a good time. He wants to know if you like the handmade pasta, not to get off the pizza thing, but he wants to know if, how was the pizza? How you doing tonight? He's even seating people. First thing he said to us was, it's going to be a 45-minute wait.
And then the second thing he said is you can't have a hoodie.
Oh, I wanted the hoodies that the waitresses have. He actually gave them to that, and they're not cheap hoodies. They are very nice hoodies. He gave them to them for Christmas. That was their Christmas gift.
Along with a bonus, he said.
Along with, I think it was a bonus and some like fuzzy socks, whatever. But he just sounds like an all-around good guy. The girls look happy there. Everybody just looks, like they're comfortable. And that's exactly what you feel like. You feel like you're comfortable. The food's amazing. Felt like I left Grandma's house.
So, okay, so then here's the question for you. So if Gigi's is your favorite place, when you go there, what's the one? So if you told you bringing someone for the first time, okay, Shauna, taking me to Gigi's, great, we're here. What do I order? Recommend me the one thing I should order.
The raviolis. Oh my God.
Cameron is definitely your daughter, because that's exactly the same thing she said last week.
My God. They are, listen, my father's a chauffeur. He drives to New York City. He's in the city all the time. When I want raviolis, I don't go to the grocery store here to buy raviolis. I tell him I need raviolis from Arthur Avenue. And he brings me back those, and we have always eaten those type of raviolis because there's just nothing compared to, the New York cuisine.
Gigi's are better.
And I have to agree with Ron. I will never, ever ask for New York raviolis again.
There's only one problem. You can't buy Gigi's unless you eat it at Gigi's.
You have to go there. He doesn't do it to go. He doesn't do catering. You can order
He does catering.
To go.
He does catering to go, but they don't. You have to give him advance notice because they make all their pastas fresh daily.
And their desserts.
Yep. All right, so back to our place now. What do you think our most unique, best, and would be selling? But since we don't sell them, what do you think the most unique and most popular pizza that I make here is?
Okay, so the most popular pizza requested is the garlic pizza because your family loves garlic. I can't eat it. It's just too much garlic for me.
It's called the garlic four-way.
Taste it for days.
What I call it. My sister tries to take credit for it, but I made it. I've made them before I she even tried one. But if she wants to take credit for it, Shauna will tell you I don't really care about the credit and the taking credit for stuff like that. If someone else wants to, go ahead. I don't care. But what that is I do a roasted garlic. I do a garlic spread. I do a fresh garlic, and then when it comes out of the oven, I do a pecorino cheese mixed with the garlic salt or garlic powder, whichever I have available on top of it. So there's 4 different types of garlic on this pizza, and you smell like garlic for a couple days, but it's so worth it. It's such a great pie.
No, it's not.
So, but back to what you're saying though is that my family does love garlic. So, I have a cousin Jade, so I'm 40, she's in college, so it gives you a perspective and age difference there, 16 years or so, and she's like my little buddy kind of person. I love her to death. She's such a wonderful human. But she loves garlic, and I make this garlic dip that is so pungent with garlic that it almost burns when you eat it sometimes.
It clears your sinuses.
But it's my family loves it. My grandmother, my uncle, my aunt, they all love it. But I always make sure that whenever I make it, I take one of those small Chinese soup containers, and I always make enough to fill one of those up for her, put her name on it, so when she leaves, she could take it. Well, this is back when she was in the dorms. She could take it back to the dorms, and I always buy a separate bag of chips for her. But even though she's living at home now, I always still make sure I make enough to send some home for her with her name on it. And then everybody always asks, "Oh, you made the garlic dip. Did you make some for Jade?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I made some for Jade. I do it every time." So she's...
I think she just knows to go in the fridge now when she comes over.
Yeah, the last time I made it for her, I didn't even know she was here because she showed up late. And went to the fridge and it was gone. She's like, "Oh, I put it in the car." I was like, "Okay, well, I'm glad you got it. You're welcome." Because she kind of expects it now. But I love Jade to death. She's one of the most amazing people I know, so I don't mind at all. All right, so let's see here. Gigi's is your favorite place. What is your all-time favorite pie? Could be anywhere.
Okay. My all-time favorite pie is the Zupardi spicy shrimp.
Okay, interesting, because that was different the last time.
It was, but I've rethunk it.
Did I remind you of that with what I said last time?
You did.
Okay.
You did.
Tell them what you said last time, so I guess that'd be your number 2.
Okay, so my number 2 is... Oh, there's so many now.
What did you say was your number 1 last time?
My number 1 last time was Joey's Pizza in, I don't even know, because you drove, and when you drive,
West
I don't
Hartford.
pay attention. Okay, fine, West Hartford.
All right, backstory real quick. So I did garage doors for years. I still do it on the side. So I know a lot of pizza places around, and I knew that there was a place called Joey's Pizza, that I used to eat at when I was up in that area doing work, which led me to taking my wife to a place called Joey Garlic's. Same people, same owners, same recipes, but when we go to Joey Garlic's, the food there is phenomenal, and we never end up getting the pizza. I always end up getting the pork parmesan, and Shauna gets, usually some kind of a chicken type of dish or something, but we never ever get the pizza. So we were up that way. What were we up that way for that time? Do you remember? Why we were up in Hartford?
Nope.
We were up in Hartford and we were coming home, and I said, "I know where to go. Look this place up. Give me the address. We'll Google. We'll Apple Map it, and we'll head over there and we'll get the pizza." And we got it, and she fell in love with their plain cheese pie. Describe it for him.
So if it's a plain cheese pie, it's gotta be salty for me. I know some people.
Well, you are a salty gal.
Yes, I am. But it's gotta be salty for me. Not, but their pie is not overly salty. It had the right amount of cheese, and it was just good. It was really good. It was probably the best pie I've had.
So the only negative I would say to their pie is their pies are fantastic. There really isn't one. But as you know, babe, that some pies taste awful the first day, but if you chill them down and then you reheat them, they just have a new life. And some pies are, those are reheaters. I call those cheater reheaters because they're not that great at the beginning. Some pies reheat really well. Some pizza places have a great fresh and a great reheated. This pie is one of the ones that doesn't really reheat all that well. It's not a great next day pie. It's a eat it now kind of pie. If there is a negative to that pizza, I think it's the only one.
I don't remember what it tasted like after.
Remember 2 weeks ago when I was doing that job with Skip and up that way, and I brought home a pie?
Yeah.
And you said it's not quite the same. It wasn't.
That was a different pizza.
That was the same place.
No, it was not.
Ask him.
We will argue this after the podcast.
Okay, but I know where I went, and Will ate 2 slices on the way home and brought the rest home for you.
Oh, okay. All right. You're right.
So
sorry.
It's not a reheater. It's a fresh eater. It is. It's a fresh eater, not a reheater. Some are both. Some are one or the other. This one happens to be that way. So if you're up in the West Hartford area, or you're up on the Berlin Turnpike, or you're near one of the Joey Garlic's places and you want a great cheese pie, go in and have one. It's a fantastic cheese pie. All right, so your number 1 was Zupardi's. Tell us about it.
Okay, so it's Spicy Shrimp Casino. It's a white pie, right?
Yes, it's white pie.
Okay, so it's a white pie.
Well, it comes in both, but we got ours in white.
Okay, so we got ours in white. It's a white pie with mozzarella cheese on it. Big pieces of shrimp.
Huge.
And
huge.
No, it's huge.
Huge.
Okay, so
that was a mistake.
If you haven't noticed, Ron doesn't like to let me talk at all.
You talk too much, that's why.
Anyways, so it's the spicy shrimp pie has, what makes it spicy is the red cherry peppers. And it's so good. So we went up to the parties and our rule is if you can't get a cheese pie right, then you can't get anything right. You're just doing something wrong because if you can't get the foundation right. So whatever.
So the first time we go anywhere, we always get a large cheese pie.
So it was just me and Ron. We didn't have the kids.
It was actually on my 40th birthday.
On his 40th birthday. And I said, well, I don't want just cheese. I'm here at two parties. I want to get something else. So I was looking at the menu and I saw the spicy shrimp. And I said, this one looks like it would be good. So we decided we would get half and half. Well, the cheese pie, we each had a slice, and then the rest came home with us, and I think the spicy shrimp was gone. We didn't take any of that home because it was in our bellies.
Wasn't it half spicy shrimp, half something else?
It was half spicy shrimp, half cheese.
Oh, we didn't get two pizzas. We got the half and half. That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
So that spicy shrimp was gone, and I'll go back for that again.
Yeah.
But however, the parties is a eater and a reheater, so that their cheese actually reheats very well. They're more of a frying pan on the stove reheater versus the air fryer. Some places you can do good with either way. No one's ever microwave. Don't put your pizza in the goddamn microwave.
I put the pizza in the goddamn microwave today for the kids. They don't know that's the difference.
No, they prefer it because they have no taste buds. They also only eat meatball pizza. All right, so parties is your number one pie, and we actually now have your number two pie. So here's the question that I like to ask. I think this is a cool question. So I'm new to the world. First time here, never been here before. I stumble upon this thing called pizza, and I find you. So I tell you, Shauna, take me to pizza. Show me pizza. Bring me pizza. What is pizza? Teach me pizza. What are you telling them? Describe it. Tell me what pizza is. And where are you taking me to try pizza to show me what it's all about?
Okay, so pizza is dough, cheese, and sauce. Or should I say dough, sauce, cheese. And you have an option of toppings. But if you're going to have pizza, just have cheese first. And then work your way from there. So...
Okay, so I got it. I want to try it. Where are you taking me?
We're going, excuse me, it's late. We're going to Roseland's, and we're getting their traditional cheese pie. And I think last time I said no garlic, but this time I'm saying half garlic on it, and half no garlic.
Okay, so what changed that?
Just because it'd be nice to try both of them. You know, if you're going for a cheese pie, because you might like a more garlicky taste in your sauce. You might not like it. So at least you have the option to choose.
Okay. So, and why Roseland?
Because it's like the mecca of all pizza places. It's just amazing. It's literally a house. It's a restaurant, but amazing pizza comes out of there. Like, to me, it's always on point. I mean, I know some people have said that they haven't, it's been inconsistent or whatever. But, it's what, the fifth generation now? Fourth generation?
I think it's the fourth generation.
And they're trying to carry on their ancestors' traditions. And, not everybody's going to get it right the first time. They just have to, keep trying to perfect grandma's recipes. There's just something about it. In fashion with that, I don't think that it's in their case leave grandma's recipes alone. Just make them the way grandma made them. Really, because she did a great job. I don't think you could really improve upon that. No, and I don't think they're changing it. They're just they're running the business now. So. I mean, for the most part, they've been consistent. There's been, one or two posts on Pizzaholics, I believe, that was like, oh, they burnt the pizza, which is really charred. But, I mean,
Cameron explained that pretty well. I was pretty impressed, and she's like, "People, it's not burnt. It's called charred."
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, that's where I take them. Even though I have to leave my OCD and my claustrophobia at the door because
it's tight.
Yeah,
but it's so worth it. Their food is fantastic.
Although the last time we went there to eat was a way better experience than the time before that I went with my parents, because you were literally sitting on top of people who were...
We had a good spot last time.
Yeah, we had a good spot.
And I had their Celebration seafood pie, which I've been dying to have.
Do they really call it the Celebration seafood?
So the new owners, the third or fourth generation, that they say it's a celebration pie because it's really expensive. It is costly, but you're getting... Like, I counted it, so they only sell it in a medium, and I got 13 or 16 lobster claws on this pie. I got at least 15 jumbo scallops and probably 24 shrimp, and they're huge shrimp.
It was a pretty impressive pie.
And I took pictures of it, and I almost didn't want to post them because the pictures did it no justice. The pie is probably 3 inches tall. In every picture you look at it, you just look downward on it. But it's worth every penny. It's
definitely a fork and knifer.
I don't even think they make any money on it, because if you actually went to the store and bought the seafood that they put on this pie, you wouldn't be able to have enough. You would have no money left over to buy dough, sauce, and cheese.
Like, there was actually, like, the big scallops on there.
Yeah.
Not the bay scallops.
The U10. The sea scallops, they're U10 size. They're dry packed U10 scallops. So for those of you in the business that know your seafood, they use dry packed U10 scallops. They used U10 shrimp, which is beyond jumbo, the colossal, almost a colossal size if you see them in the grocery store to compare. And then I had, I think either 13 or 16 lobster claws. I mean, they're legitimate claws on there. It's just amazing. I ate one piece there, I was full. I had 2 pieces. I had a piece when I got home. I had 2 pieces for lunch the next day. And I still had enough left over for dinner that night. So it fed me for almost 2 days.
Can you tell them how much it costs?
It's market priced, so it changes as the price of the seafood changes. It's not a set price in the menu. I've seen it anywhere from about $70 to $90.
Holy shit!
And again, it's market price. So if you catch it during the right seasons when certain things are in, it's a little lower, and you can end up paying upwards of almost $100 for it. But if you, like I said, your U10 scallops are going to cost you over $20 a pound, and I guarantee there's at least a pound on there. I know there's more than a pound of lobster, and if you went and bought hand-picked lobster, it's $34.99 a pound and up. So just those 2 alone, you're over $50. Never mind the shrimp.
I won money on a scratch off.
It's a celebration. You did a great job at work, promotion, schools. It's something when you're going to celebrate. Not a lot of people take that pie and go there and just say, "Hey, you know what? I'm hungry. Give me a $90, $60 pizza pie for dinner tonight." You know what I mean? Because you can get a whole meal there for that price.
Yeah.
And so when it comes back to Grandma, I would say, listen, Grandma's meatballs. Oh, and I figured out the secret with their meatballs.
Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah, I can say that because I asked them.
Okay.
So it's the exact same meatball. They make them all at the same time. They roll them all up the same way. They make same batch. However, the meatballs for the meatballs for the pizzas are cooked in the oven. They're broken apart by hand to order and put on the pizza. So they're basically kind of double baked in the oven. The meatballs that go on the pasta for like spaghetti or pasta and meatballs, they're cooked in grandma's sauce all day. So I remember I had an argument with Tisa, and I apologized to her because I said I didn't like their meatballs. So when you have their meatballs on the pasta cooked in the sauce all day, oh my God, unbelievable. So the next time I call up and ask for a meatball pizza, I'm going to ask if I can use the meatballs from the pasta sauce that were cooked in the sauce all day versus using the ones that are cooked in the oven, because I like those better. Just the difference. And it might be just me, but they were delicious.
By the way, the poor man's pie at Roseland is very good too.
So you're saying is my number 1 pie of all time is a good pie? That's my top pie. Is their poor man pie?
I can't believe that's your top pie.
Nothing's beat it. If you told me right now I could pick 1 pie, and every time you say let's go get pizza, where you want to go, the first thing pops in my head is I want a poor man pie from Roseland.
Oh no, I get it.
With fresh garlic.
I get it. I mean, it's a good pie, but you, the Pizzaholic, I can't believe that's your top pie.
Yeah,
the poor man's pie. There's no mozzarella cheese on it.
No, There's not. And I was the one for over years who used to argue and say, "Oh, come on, you got to give me mozzarella. Got to give me mozzarella." You know what? Screw the mozzarella. I don't care at that point. When you give me a poor man's pie, that's what I'm going.
I don't even know why it tastes so good. It just does.
It's the sauce.
I'm not a sauce person. I don't like a lot of sauce.
Yeah, you're saucy.
I'm a saucy bitch.
Nope, that's my car. Can't take that from her.
I named your car.
Yes, but you can't take the name if you gave it to the car.
All right, fine. You can have it.
You stole my dog. You're not stealing my damn car.
Sorry.
So, well, everybody, that's basically it for tonight. And my daughter Caitlin was sitting in here, 6-year-old. She was going to come on and say hi, but within the last 5 minutes, she's completely passed out on the couch.
She's sawing logs.
Yeah, so she's not going to make this podcast. She made the first one, but no one heard her. But
sorry.
we'll get her on another one. I'll probably do a short podcast with her in the future, just me and her. But going forward, again, I'd like to thank Tipsy, the Tipsy Tomato and Derby, for sponsoring this podcast. I want to thank my amazing wife Shauna for coming on. I'm sure you guys will hear more from us. We're told by our friends that we're pretty funny, or listening to us conversate is pretty funny. So I'm sure as we do these more, we get into our natural conversations, you'll see some of that coming out.
Tell them about the event, please.
So the event coming up next to right now, it's Friday night, the 21st, right? Or whatever, it doesn't make a difference.
It's not a Friday night, isn't it?
No,
Tuesday?
Tonight is Friday night.
Oh, sorry.
So Tuesday, the 25th of February 2020, we're having our first ever event for Pizzaholics at the Tipsy Tomato and Derby. It's $30 a ticket. The proceeds go to pediatric oncology, Yale's pediatric oncology. We're going to have some raffles, some giveaways, all the pizza you can eat from Tipsy Tomato. He's making all those pies, plus a few extras that we probably never seen or heard of, or at least there. So it's all the pizza and salad you can eat. Open bar. I was down there today to work out some of the details. One of the bartenders is coming up with a signature drink for the night. I don't want to ruin what it is, because, one, I don't remember. Two, it was amazingly delicious. It's a sneaky type of drink.
Sneaky.
Yeah, because it doesn't taste so much like alcohol, so you can drink a bunch of them, and then I found out how much alcohol is in it. You can sneak up on you.
I'm not drinking that.
No, you don't drink that. I'm not carrying you home. And I'm not having you need a cleaning fee for the Uber. So it's $30 a ticket.
Really? You had to bring that up? You had to bring that up?
Yes. So it's $30 a ticket. And anybody who buys a ticket between now and Sunday evening, so for the next 2.25 days, I will raffle off some gift cards to those who sign up. We have, I like to sell another 15 or 20 tickets to get to the number we set. We can do a few more than that if we need to. I don't want it too crowded, too busy for our first event. So we've already hit the minimum that I was hoping to hit, and I'm just hoping to hit that nice, perfect threshold. So anybody who does buy a ticket, at least one ticket between now and Sunday evening, they'll be entered to win a raffle. You can pick your place. I got about 15 different places I have gift certificates to. So I'll reach out to you if you win. You can tell me who you want to go to, and I will meet up with you at the event. T-shirts are coming. Those of you who bought T-shirts, they're going to be out in a couple days. I should have some extras to sell at the event. And if you ordered one and paid for one, you will get it. I don't have them yet, but bear with me, please. I sold way more T-shirts than I ever expected. So it might take me a hot second to get them out, but I will get them out to you. I promise. If you bought one, you'll get it. Just give me some time. I'm kind of a one-man show. With my wife laid up over here for a little while. We're back. I'm
broken.
Yeah, I got about 45 seconds left, so I just want to make sure guys come to the event.
Live entertainment too.
Oh yeah, Emma Gardella, fantastic local singer, has a kind of a country vibe to her. Has some of our own music originals. She's going to be there. I've heard some videos of her and seen them. She seems fantastic. I'm excited about that. Cash bar, all the pizza and salad you can eat and drink. We also have fresh homemade cannoli ice cream being made by Michelizzi's in Bridgeport. He's making it on Monday so that it'll be fresh, homemade, ready to go. So on that note, I have 3 seconds left. Everybody have a great night. Shauna?
Love, peace, and pizza grease.